About that time, grab your coffee cup, sit down, unwind. I know it's evening, the end of today. No need for scheming, it's Local Cafe. This is prime time, baby, stay away. Clear out your mind, maybe, just take a break. Local Cafe. Chill out with us today.
Good morning. Technically still morning for us, probably afternoon for everybody else.
Yep. You are watching the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest in the entire Local universe. You are watching Local Cafe. Oh man, what a couple of days, Beans. I can't. That's really all I can say about it. First and foremost, I just want to say, to our members, because of, things that happened, because they did a very long live stream and the activities and all that, yesterday we didn't get to put out any content. And I truly am sorry about that. We have plans today. We are going to be doing definitely one members only stream where Roxy faces her fears, and that's going to be beautiful. And the second one, don't know yet. It's either going to be a members only VOD or it's going to be a members only stream of the steak tacos that I make with the rice and the beans. So not this Beans, just saying. But, Miss Beans is in the cheerleader outfit. It's beautiful.
So I just wanted to cheer some people up because of everything that's been happening lately. And I can also cheer Roxy on whenever she has her, I don't want to call it a punishment because we're trying to help her out with her fears.
It's not a punishment. It's just very immersive therapy to face your fears. You know what I mean? That's kind of the whole goal. I told her kind of because I don't know if you guys know, but this is legit. I know people are saying she's faking and all that, but literally every time I walk in the room or every time she sees me, she comes up to me and grabs my arm and she's like, is the doll here? Is the doll here? It's legit. And this is behind the scenes and all that. There's no camera. There's nobody around. It's just me and her. What's going on? So, but yeah, we got a plan for that. It's going to be beautiful. And I told her the ultimate goal is for her to be able to pick up that Chucky doll and look at it and say, "You don't scare me anymore." That's the ultimate goal. But
exactly. Yeah. So we have Doug Savannah with the Canadian $2. Oh, it's coffee time. Heck yeah. Ken, actually, you went out. You came here with a coffee in hand, and everybody looked at you.
I did.
And they're like, you know what? We want some coffee too. And like the man you are, you went back out there, 30-minute drive to get us all some coffee, and I really appreciate it.
1 hour round trip, Beans. 1 hour round trip. But that's okay, guys, because we got to take care of everybody here. Thankfully, with that rhino bitch gone, I think the vibe is a lot better. And someone pointed it out on the last stream that literally when she showed up, it just destroyed the mood with everybody. Literally. And I didn't say 2 words to her, like behind the scenes guys, like the bitch didn't exist. Because, as I said, I stand by what I said. Like, I'm not joking, Beans. I stood by what I said.
You did.
People were being cordial and all that. I get it. People want to say that, she shaved her head. That's a start. Fuck that. The bitch has no integrity. And when you don't have integrity and you think just fucking going bald will right all your wrongs or even start it, I can't. Because again, like I said, there's no backbone. There's just wherever I can go, whatever I can do. And if you saw that solo stream, if anyone else did that, they would be shunned, blocked, and shit on. Literally shit on. But she thinks she can just walk back in and shave her fucking head. Like, no, I can't.
Exactly. Real quick, Lily Musai gifted 1 locale membership. Remember to say thank you, Hydrogen Jive. And let me see, so far nothing else. Yeah, so I think I put it in Discord whenever all that happened yesterday. Remember when we had our curse of the 666 viewership?
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was a 6666 curse going on because whenever that happened, that was a viewership. And I took a picture and I sent it to the Discord. I put a lot of things in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, be a cash cow or higher in order to get access. But whenever that happened and somebody tripped over the power cord, I pulled out my phone and I started recording because I'm like, we can't miss out on the content. That's to me, that's not really content. That's real life happening right there.
Yep.
And everybody saying that's scripted that's horrible. But a lot happened, to say the least.
Definitely. So I've talked a lot. You haven't really said your thoughts and your feelings about the turn of events from yesterday. So what you got for us, Miss Beans?
So real quick, Nightly Truth with the 1999. I can't this morning, Ken and Beans. I'm so disappointed in Wings. Disappointment is an understatement when it comes to what happened yesterday. We were talking about it just a couple moments ago before we even went live, how a lot of people are disappointed in what happened, and we wish that there was minimal interference, to say the least. Because if it was just Keemstar and Wings, they probably would have battled it out and been friends like 5 minutes later.
No one would have cared.
Exactly. But because there was so much involvement in, what happened, that's when we're all like a little disgusted at the situation. Sometimes it makes me so like mad that Keemstar keeps repeating it and repeating over and over again yesterday that he was like, oh, all the women went inside and started crying. And I'm behind the camera like, I'm here eating Whataburger while this is happening. Not because like I'm, chill about what's been happening, but I was starving. I was starving, manning the camera, like just in shock of what was happening.
Well, here's the thing, right? Since you had other things going on, your mind was, I'm not saying your mind wasn't in it, but your mind was elsewhere because, the show got to go on, right? So you and Grim were doing your thing, making sure the show was still good. So I don't know if you had time to, like, process it all because there was other shit y'all had to worry about. So, good on y'all, man, for staying professional.
Yeah, whenever that happened, I was behind the camera making sure that I get all the angles and, all that crap. But after it happened, when Wings drove away, when everything was calm, that's when I started hugging Grim because I've been in bad situations like that before, and I was just shaking. Like, I wasn't crying at the time that it was happening, but I was still shaking. And then once everything was done and over with, that's when a couple tears shed down my face, and I was like stuffing my face with my double, wiping the tears with my buns.
Apparently, for some odd reason, my wife told me there's this big internet debate about Whataburger and In-N-Out, like a competition. I'm telling you guys right now, In-N-Out is far superior to Whataburger.
I haven't had In-N-Out.
In-N-Out is fucking beautiful.
Is there one nearby?
No, but what I'll say is, In-N-Out is just more of a complete burger. You can definitely tell it is different based on other like fast food chains. Mm-hmm. But the issue is Whataburger to me reminds me more of Burger King than anything. That's just my own personal opinion.
It's a very mustardy burger, if that makes sense. The Whataburger one.
They definitely.
Mustard. RJ with the $5. Beans, you are a cheerleader, and Ken, you are a knight in shining armor.
I do my best.
Doug Savannah again with the Canadian $2. Preach, Ken, preach.
Doug Savannah is beautiful. Thank you for always being here, sir.
Ashes to Ashes with the 20. Hell yes, Ken. Finally, someone with sense Coffee Cult for Life.
Yep. So in the Discord, Nightly Truth, he sent me a screenshot that he joined the Coffee Cult. So Nightly Truth, welcome to the Coffee Cult. Like I said, guys, you're gonna get your members only content today. Like I said, we're definitely doing a members only live stream of Roxy facing her fears, and we're gonna have that on our channel. And Milkers is gonna get the VOD for members only content. So that's happening. And then again, whenever I cook, we're still trying to figure out if that's going to be a VOD or a members only stream. It just depends on what's going on and everything. But you'll get to see the famous steak tacos, the Mexican rice and beans. So it's going to be beautiful.
I'm excited. G Vens with the 1999 finally woke up early enough for the cafe. Good morning, Ken. Good morning. Beans.
Appreciate you, G Vens. Appreciate you, bro.
What was I going to say?
Lily with one more gifted member. Thank you, Lily.
Lily's a G this
Oh,
morning.
yeah. Lily is beautiful.
So this morning we're a little bit later than usual. We just wanted to get some extra sleep in, especially after what happened yesterday.
Yeah. I finally got some sleep last night, Beans. Finally. Because, you know, when you have your person, right, like with my wife, you know, trying to sleep alone sucks. And getting used to that is terrible, you know. So I OD'd on sleeping pills and muscle relaxers, and I took like 25 grams of melatonin. So I got about 7 hours of sleep. So that was good, you know. And wife, if you're watching, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
He does miss you. He was talking about you like all morning, and we were just showing pictures and talking about the ring and stuff. You were talking about ring.
Yeah, I showed your ring off, you know, and because, you know, I saw Brantley's ring, and that some bitch is huge, and I was saying, you know, I wanted to get you a big ring, and that's beside the point. But you know, it is what it is. And they also said that, you know, I said hopefully we get pregnant this year, and you know, we can be parents. And they were saying if you bless me with a little girl, that my life would be over.
Just imagine Ken in like a little tutu or like doing like little tea parties and stuff. I think that would be the cutest thing ever.
I can't. Love you, baby. Thank you for watching.
Especially if you put them in ballet. Usually they always have like a daddy-daughter like recital. You'll have to learn the moves.
I can't.
And she'll probably be yelling at you like, Dad, that's not the way that you're supposed to do it.
Imagine me in like the shoes with like the flats, you know what I'm saying? Do the little do 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 do. You know what I mean? My big ass trying to do that with the fucking you know what I mean?
Miss Jess with the $5 good morning, sending good vibes. And then Sterling with the member for 1 month cash cow. I'm sorry if fat camp wasn't what you expected. Hope you're all having a good time despite the circumstances. Coffee Cult for life.
We appreciate you. Yeah. So Miss Jess reached out to me and noticed, you know, asked me if I'm okay. And, you know, she's dating, you know, Complexity and Zeph have been, you know, reaching out, asking if I'm good and all that. And I have to say, audience, you know, truth be told, the camping trip was just so much fun. I mean, we had so much fun on the camping trip. It was just a lot of bros broing out doing like, you know, the show and content and all that. And Fat Camp has made me realize a lot of things about myself. One, I'm getting too old for this shit. Like the old man in me is starting to come out, and like my social battery is not what it used to be. And, you know, just missing home and, you know, like talking to my wife and all that shit, right? It's a lot. It's a lot on me, you know, and I do wish she was here, you know, just to have my confidant with me. And, you know, it is what it is. But this is not, I think this was not the expectations that people thought it was going to be. The reason being is because there was a lot of ideas, there was a lot of wants and a lot of needs. And I truly think that because of the shortcomings that they didn't know about, it just kind of killed a lot of the vibe. And there's just a lot of personalities here. There's a lot. It's literally like, you know, locale real world, like from the 90s. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you guys that there's shit going on behind the scenes that y'all don't know about and just conflict, like I cannot express to you enough how that is so true. And like none of this shit is like, when I say scripted, obviously there's arguments about certain parts, right? I'm not going to get into that. But when I tell you guys that like there's like, if y'all think there's conversations to like start drama or anything, it's just not true. It's just not true. Like the shit with Roxy and Becky yesterday. When I got here, that bald gnome bitch was in there screaming at everybody. There was not one camera on, bro. Not one that I saw. And, you know, when there was the altercation, obviously that was also not on camera. Or no, I think it was or whatever. Yeah. But when I got here, Roxy was shaking. She was chain smoking cigarettes, pissed off, trying to like explain her way and all that. Like, I'm telling you guys, this has been very mentally taxing. Very mentally taxing.
Well, like, I know this is a messed up thing to say, but whenever that happened yesterday and then just everything happening at once, I think I've been disassociating in general of the whole situation, just trying to be okay mentally with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Like whenever that happened yesterday, I just looked at Ken and I was like, "Do you believe me now?"
Oh yeah, and like I said on our first stream together on Friday, like realizing the stress you were under when we had our little spat, I get it. I totally fucking get it now. And I know a lot of people say that there's FOMO and there's all this other shit. Like, trust me, it's not worth your mental health. It's not. Like, I can't express that enough.
So, Bod shotgun with the 199. Keem got scratched and no one cares. He didn't care himself. A lot of people were trying to clean up his wounds, make sure that he's okay. And he's like, "Get off of me. Like, I'm fine. It's a scratch."
Yeah, definitely.
Karini Roo, one of our favorite viewers, with the $20. Good afternoon, beautiful Beans and Ken. Good afternoon, Karini.
Good afternoon, Karini. Thank you for being a beautiful supporter. We appreciate you.
Holy moly with the $2. Good morning. Y'all's logo should be there Tuesday by end of day. Ooh, that's cool.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
He has the address. Yeah, everybody has the address at this point, I think.
Just let it ride.
SMD_YSL05. You got a really complicated username.
It is not a beautiful name.
With the, I think that's the €10. Yesterday was something else. Good morning. The only two rational people in the LCU.
Yeah, and I'm just going to make a comment about what happened yesterday. I mean, there's no rationalizing it. People are going to have their opinions, and obviously, Wings Trolls channels are probably going to go up to oblivion. But when Kelly called for me and I heard that shaking in her voice, that literally almost broke me. Literally.
I don't even think about it.
It's, I just wanted tensions to calm down and just kind of processing what happened. Boogie trying to make it about himself really probably wasn't the play. Because he kept talking about, like, I've taken an ass beating. It'll just be one more ass beating, blah, blah. Like, I did this and I did that. Like, bro, you're not involved. Like, stop. And then he just kept egging him on when Wings was trying to leave. And I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up. But, I think I did the right thing. I did what I thought was best. And there was just so much going through my head. You know what I mean? I was just trying to make the right decision at the right time. Obviously, I could have been better as far as doing all that. But it was such a tight space, and you're talking about a fucking rhino, you know what I mean? Not Razorback, but just a rhino moving around and doing all their thing. Like, I probably should have done more, and I felt like if I was able to do more, accidents wouldn't have happened. And that kind of weighs on me, if I can be very transparent with everybody. But, yeah, I hate what happened. I really, truly do.
I think everybody hates what happened. Things could have been better, but you can't really control a situation while it's happening. Not only are you in shock because nobody thought that this would happen at all. A lot of things happened. Like, I got worried when freaking Kyrie went out there and she started yelling in Wings' face right after.
Yeah, but I knew in my heart of hearts,
like, once he did that, he was probably like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that." Because everybody was like, "Dude,
yeah,
what are you doing?"
He was in shock, I think, once it just stopped. But I knew he wasn't just going to strike a female. Like, I knew he wasn't just going to ball his fist and slap somebody I knew he wasn't going to do that. But just because of emotions being so high and just, what happened, people just got emotional in their emotions. They had to let it out, right? So the real thing was I was just trying to be there next to him just to try to, like, hold him back, you know what I mean? And again, that's a big motherfucker, and I'm a pretty big dude too, but with just everybody in the fray in such a tight spot, like my wife tells me, like you don't know how big you are, you don't know how strong you are. So I just didn't want to be a damn 6'5", 280-pound fucking dude moving around, to knock over other people. You know what I mean? And that's kind of just what happened.
Yeah. So real quick, Winterfell with the $50.
Thank you, Winterfell.
Thank you very, very, very much. People keep texting, and then my phone gets all the way down to like the most recent thing. Oh, thank you so much. I think for a lot of us, when I say that we are let down, I don't blame anyone. Next year, Fat Camp will be better. I am happy for all of you finding your way. Learn from this and move on. Cheers. I also wish inside as there?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Winterfell. There's that last part.
Yeah, that last part was a little bit confusing, but I do agree with everything that they said after.
And then Zephyrus with the 20. I love you, Zephyrus. Appreciate you. When Kelly cried out for you, Ken, to stop Wings, my heart dropped for her. Such a crazy stream. I'm glad the people involved were removed, and I hope the rest of Fat Camp is happy and fun. Best locale show in the LCU here. Thank you, Zeph. I do think that with Wings and Becky gone, I think the vibe is going to get back. And like Keemstar himself said, we need to get back to having fun, and I think with the emotions high as they were and just crash outs happening, I do think they need to get back to having fun. And, hopefully it's a reset day for everybody. Hopefully it's just kind of cooler heads will prevail. And I don't know if they're going to do any content today because they've done, 2 6+ hour streams.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be just a calm, chill day for everybody, except for Roxy. But it's going to be good for everybody, I think.
Yeah, the one and only neighbor, Tina D, with the $10 said, not true. I'm not sure what she was replying to at that moment. And then there's Jeremy Gerber with the $1. Didn't say anything, but we do appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro.
CC Corinthos, I think it is, with the gifted 1 locale membership.
Thank you.
And then there is Big Benny Steve with the $2. Let's not forget Wings got off his meds cold turkey. That is also something that we do not recommend. If you are on any medications, you should always try to, first of all, consult your doctor. And then if you are going to do it by yourself, it should be weaned off, not just cold turkey.
So I've talked to my psychiatrist for like my PTSD medicine and all that. And they've told me, so I've told them like certain feelings I have and kind of, doing certain things. And like, truth be told, I'll give you another peek behind the curtain. It can actually do harm to trying to like procreate. So I've had to adjust my medications to increase the chances of procreating. So that's something else that we've been kind of going through. But, it's just a lot of changes, a lot of different things happening, and, just trying to live a good life, trying to come down here with certain expectations. Those expectations aren't met, and then you get the negativity happening. It's just a tornado windfall of shit. Just so much shit,
So Retro with the $10 says Wings needs to do anger management classes when he gets back home. I don't know if I should talk about this, but
let's give it opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, whenever everything happened, I went into the theater room and Xylee and Billy were there, and they were talking about like, what could we do to help Wings? Because I think a lot of people, they're angry, they're disgusted with the whole situation, but at the same time, like, you don't want to leave somebody to just stay the way that they are. They wanted to do a Wings of Redemption arc, right?
Yeah.
They were saying, like, if Keemstar truly wants him to stay in this universe, he should probably use this not only as, bad way as a way of making content, but also as a way of helping his friend, because I think he still considers him a friend.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So they were saying like, oh, this could be like a social experiment type thing. Like they could have counseling and it could be recorded, but not all of it, and see how he does in a few months' time and just redeem himself as a person in general.
So the one thing about Wings, and this is my true and honest opinion, for anything like that to happen, he would need to buy in. And he is a stubborn motherfucker. Wings is such a stubborn man. And I'm stubborn to a point as well, right? But like, if my wife tells me shut the fuck up, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. But, like, it's just kind of, I don't know what's going to be the next step. And, I don't know what the discussions are between Keem and Boogie and them, because that's really none of my business. But I think if there was going to be some sort of redemption for Wings, it would be a lot of shit he would have to do. And I'm not even talking punishments, right? Because we're past punishments at this point. I'm talking like real help from professionals, you know what I mean, for many different things. Because, let's just say you do a punishment, like he has to do some sort of physical activity or he has to get mustard and ketchup over. Like, that's not going to solve anything. That's not going to do anything for the harm that's been done. And whether anyone wants to believe whatever they want to believe, it's all about the optics, right? So the optics tell you what the internet and everybody is feeling. So Keem is in a position, since he has the company, what's the the company stance, whatever that is, whenever he's ready to talk about it publicly and give a company stance on it, that's going to be on him, right? Like, obviously, again, we're not privy to that because that's none of our business. But he has to think as a friend. He has to think as a businessman. He also has to think of just a human being. So that's kind of going to be interesting to see what happens next.
I think the most complicated thing when it comes to the locale universe now is not only do you have to think about this one person and how they messed up and how we can redeem them, but you also have to think about the other people. So, for example, with Becky, or Razorback, as you like to call her, he was thinking about her a lot during this trip, and then he brought her in not really thinking about the consequences with everybody else. So everybody else got affected with what Becky was doing at the time, and then all the fucking chaos happened, and now look.
Yep.
She was here for what, a day, and then he had to send her back just because of all the negative.
I'll tell you something funny about that. Someone brought up a very good point that, they said she practices in witchcraft, right? So she may have put a little spell on Fat Camp, you know what I mean? Fucking bitch. I fucking hate her so much. I'm sorry. She's literally the reason why I got a hotel room. Like, literally, I was considering it, but then when I got in my rental car and I drove here, I turned the stream on, and I saw her, again, I stand by what I said. She is literally the reason I did not want to be here. Mm-hmm. And it has nothing to do with shit that happened before, right? Because I'm not going to base anything on that because, again, none of us know. All I'm saying is based on her perception and based on just how she is and all that, I didn't want to be in any kind of situation where she could say anything. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. That ain't worth it.
Well, the thing that made me the most angry when it came to whenever people were calling you out for your stance on this, it's like, if you were a woman and you gave a boundary, nobody would bat an eye. But because you're a man, you're big, people know that you can defend yourself. They're like, oh, why do you need to defend yourself over this, like, small lady, in general?
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
Of course, it's Twiggy. So in general, like, you're a man, you're a big dude, you can defend yourself. People are like, why? You gave a boundary. That's all people need to know. Not only is this boundary to keep you safe, but it's also better for her.
Yeah.
Why even put yourselves into this situation where something could happen? And that's what made me the most, like, visceral angry, because, like, this is better for everybody, and you guys just want an opinion, or you guys want to, like, take something out just so you can use it against other people.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me.
No, I got you. But all right.
Miss Jess with the $20. Cafe is the best LCU show. Part of my morning routine now. Hope the rest of the time at camp is at least a little bit more relaxing. Love y'all.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. So I was hoping that the weather would be nice enough to maybe do something, like, fun. Because I think that if we did, like, the, like, I don't know, go to Walmart, get some, like, water guns or, like, water boots or something, it would have been, like, a fun, like, reset for everybody.
Some type of activity.
Exactly. But it's just so muggy outside. It's so cold. It looks like a bleak day. It looks very much like what the feeling is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Real quick. So, Midnight Rider, if someone stole your stuff and threw it in a lake, would you be okay? No, I wouldn't. But at the same time, I know myself, and I wouldn't put somebody in a situation where they would feel they need to do that. Like, look at who we're talking about. Let's just keep that into perspective. And then we had Seth Looks with the $4.99. Mike said before being asked to leave, Becky quit again. Is this correct? Is she really gone for good this time? One can only hope, right? But we saw she did the 5-hour stream, and then she's back. So I only hope she's gone, and it is what it is, and there would be no love lost because there was none to begin with. Mm-hmm. FKA, the ghetto basement, I like that. If Becky doesn't show, yesterday doesn't happen. Again, a lot of people agree with you, bro. I agree with you. And then Spedgy the Great with the Canadian $13.99. Appreciate you, Spedgy. The Wings assault is blowing up the troll channels. I don't think Wings meant to hurt Kelly, but he did push her, and people like Boogie trying to sweep it is messed up. I'm not going to comment on that because I don't feel that I am the person to comment on that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let other people comment on that because I'm not here to do that. And then St. Elmo's Fire re-upped their Koshka for 1 member. Thank you for that. Please tell me Becky is fired for good this time. Again, one can only hope. And then Winterfell again with the 199. We need timestamps on the Truth or Dare stream. I wasn't here for that because I just left. But I'm sure that'll be taken care of. So, fuck. I don't know, guys. Like I said, we're going to try and get back to cafe today, at least for our members, because, I truly feel like we let our members down. I know the one of the giveaways got messed up, and I'm sorry for that because, again, I had one of the uncut sheets. One was just of Keem, and then one was Keem, Wings, and Boogie cards. Now I was going to get all of them to sign those and give it away to a crown or a pay pig, right? I wanted to do that as a giveaway. So we'll have to figure something else out. Like, I guess I could always do the Keem one, have Keem sign that one and do a giveaway. I could do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yep, and then I'll keep the Keem, Wings, and Boogie one because I don't know when I ever see Wings again, based on whatever the company decides to do. But yeah, I guess I could also do like a giveaway for that Wendy's can of chili that Wing signed.
But that's your can of chili.
I know, but still, I feel bad because our major supporters support us, and I just want to make sure they feel loved and appreciated.
Well, so far you've been doing a lot for the supporters because you were talking about the Cafe Bustelo can that everybody was going to sign. You're talking about the uncut sheets. You were talking about also if you're a pay pig or a crown, you were going to do the gift card coffee.
Yeah,
thing.
again, guys, if your crowns are pay pigs, Nightly Truth hooked me up with a way to get some coffee from someone he truly believes in. So please reach out to me so we can make that happen because Nightly Truth really wants them to try it, right? So it's only fair the crowns and the pay pigs have that ability to do that. So please reach out to me or in messages and we can make that happen because I really want y'all to do that because people say we do have a coffee cult, right? We have the Cafe Calvary, and I feel that outside of the big 3 shows, right? Because I don't want to include them in this. I truly feel we have the most dedicated fan base. I really, truly do. And y'all have no idea what that truly means to me. And the fact that, the merch drop is going to have our coffee coming out April Fool's Day, April the 1st, but it's not a joke according to Keemstar. So, I want everybody to try it. We can do it together. You know what I mean? We'll brew it up and we'll make it happen. We all have give fair assessments. It's going to be beautiful, guys. It really is.
Yeah, so Phantom Void with the $2 have an indoor comfy board game, drinking stream. That would be nice. I don't drink, but I think just playing board games together would be a fun experience. But not Monopoly. Monopoly is like the #1 banned game that
I was thinking about that. Have you ever played the Cheaters Edition? Bruh. So the Cheaters Edition literally gives you points for like stealing property and like stealing money out of the till or whatever. But the thing is, if you're caught with it, there's like a handcuff that handcuffs you to jail. And you can't leave until someone does something or like allows you out of jail or you have to pay to get out of jail, like a bail or whatever. It's pretty badass, actually.
Jesus. But I'm putting my foot down when it comes to Monopoly because Grimm takes that game way too serious. He actually lost a couple friends playing Monopoly, and I think I would like to keep some friendships here, like
yeah.
In general.
We'll always be friends, Beans.
We'll always be friends. Do you see the size difference between?
Well, here, put your hand on mine right in front of the camera. Yeah, this grown ass man right here.
Kratos, and boy.
You damn right, boy. Yeah, come over here, boy. I can't. That sounded so wrong. Please don't clip that. Use it against me.
Keemstar was actually talking about having TTS for Cafe, and that.
Oh shit! Really? We came up in the big times. Fuck yeah, Beans. We get TTS, guys.
I think that would be awesome, only because I was thinking about it for a while, but obviously we can't take a step without asking the boss first.
Well, see, here's the thing. You have all these smaller channels trying to do these stream elements and stream labs and all this bullshit with the fucking sound effects and all that shit, right? Technically, yes, you are a host, but technically the big man owns the show. So if you're going to do some technological bullshit, you know what I mean, you need to get the okay.
I think Ken just doesn't want to deal with a lot of technology.
You're going to do that, Beans, because you're fucking whatever to our, our thruple, producer guy. Yes, I'm a third in their relationship. So yeah, our thruple, we have our IT guy, right? So, he can do all that for us. Plus, if it fucks up, I wouldn't know how to do it. And if I had my boomer report button, I'd press it right now.
Well, I was just about to say that. So, accidentally, I was trying to make it easier for Graham. I'm like, hey, we actually have I call it the moving video,
Moving.
but it's the intro, but not so staticky. So I added like little music notes that like go up and down, and then I have like the steam coming off of the coffee cup just to make it more like appealing.
Is that what we use for prime time?
Yeah, that's what we use
Beautiful.
for prime time. But I have the moving video, and usually I have like the song separate. But for prime time, I remember you asked Billy Joe, like,
Yeah.
hey, can you mix them together? Can you do the moving video plus the music? And I was like, let me make it easier for Grim. Let me use this video and send it to him. But I forgot that was for prime time.
It doesn't matter because, I don't know how to finish that sentence.
Let me defend you there. So it doesn't matter because this is technically our prime time, because I don't think a lot of shows are going to go live today. So technically we are prime time.
That's
We're going
fair.
to be the biggest show today.
That's a fair point. We'll take it.
Plus, a lot of people have been contacting me saying like, hey, I really like the prime time song. Can you play it again? We don't know when's the next time we're going to have prime time. So
That's fair. Because,
there's no rules at Fat Camp.
the big man himself is never going to let go of the 6 o'clock spot or 6:30, whatever you want to call it, because that is legit prime time. But one thing I'll say to the fans and all that, I truly think after Fat Camp there's going to be some changes, and I think that there's some realizations coming into everybody here, and I'm curious to see what those changes are. I'm not going to speculate, but it's just a feeling I have, But back to your point with the whole, video and song and all that. This boomer doesn't really get OBS to like separate, because you know how like when Keem does like the intro or whatever, and he'll like turn the camera on for himself and go like, yep, and then put it back. I don't know how to do that. So, I have to run the camera from Discord. Beans is already in there. We shrink it down. We do our show. It's just easier for me. But I mean, I'm sure it's stupid easy. But, because of like what happened with like local court, I'm like deathly afraid to try anything new. So, I have my system, it's down, I know how to do it. I don't want to like add anything to it because it'll crash again and I'll like feel truly bad for the fans.
Well, when it comes to me hosting, the thing that bugs me the most is like I'm so used to being the just the co-host, not the main host.
Yeah.
So I'll be like going through the comments, I'll go into Discord, I'll be
Yeah.
doing like 20 million things while I'm also like hosting with you. And when I'm actually hosting, I'm being the OBS user. I can't do that, and it bugs me because I'm like, I need to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, I have to say, the Friday streams with you and Batgirl have been amazing. You've done a great job. You're learning. You're getting more comfortable, and I can see the confidence in you, and it's fucking beautiful. I was say, if you ever want to like host one of the shows that we're on, just let me know. Like, hey, let me host because practice makes perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't wake up and understand how to use OBS. My old ass figured it out. And you're a very competent person. You're knowledgeable. You can learn. You're in it to win it. You know what I mean? So if you ever want to host shit, let me know.
I hate all these I hate all these compliments and like niceties. Like I'm so used to like just getting made fun of by Grim or just in general. Like
Fuck you, tiny person.
yeah, that's what fuels me. Like my coffee. This is crazy, by the way. You got me like the cinnamon roll
Cinnamon roll.
with like espresso or something.
Yep. Just so yeah.
I'm
So
wired right now.
yeah. So I got a cinnamon roll with like an extra shot. So there's 5 shots, and then I went back to do another coffee run. I got a white mocha with 4 shots. So I got about 9 shots of espresso pumping through my veins, and I could probably still take a nap.
I can definitely cheer on Roxy later.
Roxy. Guys in the chat, again, if you aren't a member, become a member because you're going to see the members only live stream of Roxy facing her fears of Chucky.
So we're going to have the live stream. We're going to give the VOD to Milkers, and they're probably going to edit it, make it a little bit...
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because remember, if Mike's involved, it's scripted. So you got to remember that. He needs to script his edited videos.
I still need that head pat that you were talking about.
I can't pet your head, Beans.
Not mine.
Oh, Mike's? Oh, fuck yeah, I'll pet his head.
Oh.
It will happen. When Roxy picks that dolls up and says that I'm not scared of you no more, I'm going to pat Mike on the head. I'm going to say, good job, bud.
Good job, bud. Nightly Truth with the 1999. The path forward for Wings should be therapy and anger management, but also deleting his channel. It has to be something big, and I think that fits. I don't think you'll ever get him to delete his channel, especially with all the arguments that he had with Keemstar before.
Oh, yeah.
About like I'm not deleting, like they had this conversation before. I'm not deleting my channel. I need my extra income. Like I can't be doing locale full time.
Yeah. If people remember the lore, right? Because again, I've been around since like the inception. People remember the lore. He literally said he only did this show for Kelly because he didn't like the idea of it. He didn't like what the premise was going to be, but you know, he thinks financially damn near every time. So he literally said, I'm only doing this for Kelly so she feels more secure. So, I mean, I don't know what's changed or if it's changed for that. I hope it has, because I'm telling you guys, he was genuinely having fun. I know he was having fun. He was, you know, shit talking to everybody. You know what I mean? Like getting along with people, you know, and all that shit. And, you know, again, yesterday was a tragedy. But he was definitely having fun. And he says he's not a social person. He's definitely a social person. He's more than me, I'll tell you that much. So
That's something that like a lot of people don't understand. Like, most people are sort of what they're like on camera, but you know they divulge a little bit more. I didn't think that Wings was. He always seems so depressed on camera sometimes, and
Yeah.
he seems very recluse. But ever since the camping trip, not the camping trip, the fat camp in the beginning, he was always smiling. He was talking to people. Like the moment,
yeah.
the moment that he got out of his car and he was like saying hi to me, he looks at me and he literally like, I'm gonna say insulted, but it's not really insulted. He was like, "Oh, you're like a moped girl." Never heard that in my life. And I was like, what?
Wings of Automotive.
Yeah, I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, oh, well, you would only ride a moped if nobody's looking. Well, moped girls, that's what we used to call them, are girls with hair on their arms. So you would only ride them if nobody's looking. I'm like, that is horrible. Tell me more.
Yeah.
I love when people insult me.
The
And,
Wings of One-Liners is beautiful.
the Wings of One Liner, exactly. He lives up to his name. I even like shaved my arms because I was on test and I was like, hey, like, I told the story on test and I was like, hey, I'll shave my arms and like I'll show it to him and make him think that I was like insecure about it.
Did you shave your arms?
I did. It actually feels nice. I never shaved my arms before.
It's beautiful.
My arms used to look like yours, actually.
You know what's funny? I actually have hair like here, right?
Oh,
So
I
it's kind
always
of weird.
get hair on here and like my knuckles. I think that's just a Hispanic thing. We're just hairy people, especially because I get cold. Like
Well, also,
somebody blows my way, just
fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so being Greek, we're also kind of hairy people too, right? So that's kind of fun. But real quick, breaking news, if y'all didn't know. So from the Locale X, this was 6 minutes ago. Wings of Redemption is currently on a non-paid suspension from Locale Live, Locale Universe. We will make a decision on his fate after Fat Camp when we have time to process everything that has happened. Keeman Boogie. So that's the statement from the show, the company. So we're going to leave it lie, and whatever happens, happens.
exactly. So, Lady Nerd Artist with the $10 question. While you guys are here, could you do a breakfast stream? Like you guys make coffee, either make or get pastries and making breakfast foods you guys like, question mark, or even a Walmart shopping trip in real life.
So, hold on a second. What's up? Come on. So, I'm leaving tomorrow. That was always the plan. So, this is going to be my last day here. And we have other things planned. So, yeah, like I said, we're trying to do this stream, another live stream of this lady right here facing her fears. And then, again, I'm making the steak tacos, Mexican rice and beans tonight. So we need to figure out, just based on what's going on, if we're going to do that live or members only VOD. So, Miss Roxy.
Okay, so last night you're probably sleeping during the live.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the 10-hour mark, Nightmare came out with the doll. I didn't know it was here. I thought you were the only one that had one. And he came out and he fucked me with it. I don't know how to pull it, but here goes.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
I got you. Beautiful.
Okay, well, I came in here and was very, very upset. Keem seeing me, shaking, freaking out, and I told him, I screamed at him, me and Ken had a fucking deal. Why would you do this? Anyway, he apologized. He didn't know it was that serious.
Yep.
Keem, you know, I just wanted to let you know that this has already happened to me today. So
No, I got you. Yeah. So just real quick, right, for the fans watching, Roxy has gotten some shit because on the last, or not the last, on one of the previous milkers, you know, when she was drunk, someone put a Chucky doll up and she didn't respond to it. So at that point, everyone said, "Oh, this is fake. It's not real." But I'm telling you guys, behind the scenes, talking to Roxy, you know, I swore on my marriage that she would know. I swore to her that I'm not just going to spring it on her. But it's here. It's in the car. Right, Miss Roxy, I haven't told you that yet. So when we get ready to do it, you'll understand. Roxy did want kind of an outline of what's going to happen just so she could prepare, and I told her what's going to happen. I mean, if you want to call that scripted, call it scripted, but I just wanted to make sure she knew what to expect.
yeah,
But with what happened during it, right, we're just going to go with it. And all I told her was match energy. That's all I said.
Keem came out, and also this is Keem coming out.
Yeah, so Keem's coming out, looking at Nightmare, shaking his head.
Nightmare, you fucked up. What? She's like about to have a heart attack. And you cannot do that. Get that out of here. Yeah. Dude, you get that. That shit is not a joke. That's like real to her. She's
Gone and put it. It's going away. It's going away.
What happened?
All right, yeah, so if y'all didn't hear, I'm trying to put the audio in there so y'all can at least hear, but if y'all didn't see last night's stream at like the 10-hour-ish mark, if you want to go back and look at it, Nightmare came out with a Chucky doll and was chasing her away with it, right? And the camera followed. And then he sat down with Savage and Wonder Woman, I believe, and then Keem came out and basically got in his ass about it. So, yeah, like everyone's aware that I have a plan. Mike knows, Keem knows, we've already talked about it, right? So that's well known. Right. And again, I told Roxy on my marriage, she would know when it's going to happen, where it's going to be and all that. Right. Because I want to do this as controlled as possible. And the fact that, you know, Nightmare brought one out and chased her around with it unexpectedly probably kind of pissed Keem off. Like legitimately, you can see the look in his eye, he's pissed off. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You're good.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Of course. Thank you for coming on.
So just to catch up on some of the donos, Doug Savannah with the Canadian 2, when are you doing the Chucky versus Roxy stream? I don't know if we're even gonna do it now. I don't wanna push somebody.
Hold on. Roxy, do you still want to do it with me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will figure that all out. We will put announcements in the Discord. Obviously, we're going to create the stream in the Discord, and y'all will know way ahead of time. But again, it's going to be members only. So, you know, from Crown down to Band World, you will be able to see it. So if y'all want to see that, become a member. And then after the fact, Milkers will have it, and that's going to be uploaded to them under members only as well. Mm-hmm. So just keep all that in mind. Like, this is only going to be members only content.
Rastoff with the New Zealand 5, Wings banned from Discord and suspended without pay till after fan camp from LCL as per Keem on X. Yeah, we already went through that.
Thank you, Rastoff.
Mr. 77 with the European 2. Michael Jackson is vert sus, not gonna lie. Okay. Knight Rider with the 199. If Roxy didn't throw coat in lake, nothing happens. It depends. I think in general, it depends. Tensions were already rising. Throwing a jacket in the lake, in my opinion, isn't nothing, because if it got ruined, you can always get a new one from Keemstar. If you can also wash it in general,
yeah.
Like don't burn bridges because of a jacket, right?
Yeah, it ain't worth it.
I mean, the bridge was already burnt, but now you're stepping on a burning bridge, and now it's gone forever.
Yep.
In general, a lot of things have been happening. It's kind of been feeling like low-cal high school in a way. I'm only 25, but I feel like even I'm too old for this.
Agreed.
Like
Low-cal frat house.
We can't.
We damn sure can't. And I see people in the comments saying I'm a pussy for yesterday. So here's the thing, bro. Hindsight's always 20/20. I feel I could have done better and all that. But again, y'all have to realize, you know, That's a 400-pound man going at full steam ahead. And I did my best. And when all that shit was happening, it was such a damn tight space. Y'all don't realize like how big I am. And I'm not trying to like get in some tussle match with wings with 6 inches of space around me with, you know, with Kelly, right, and all that shit. And like, I'm just not trying to do that. And, you know, being here and being around it, you'll understand. And you can say what you want about me. I don't give a fuck. But I'm just telling you guys, in the moment, I had my thoughts and my feelings about what was going to happen. And, you know, again, I feel bad I couldn't do more. But like I said, hindsight's always 20/20. And I'm sorry that I didn't do more. I wish I could have, and I should have. And that's something I have to deal with.
I clicked something. Lady Nerd Artist with the $10. It's not about getting a new one. It's about the lack of respect. Beans, would you be pissed if we threw your stuff in the lake? Property is not that big of a deal for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you threw stuff in the lake, maybe some things will get ruined. I'll be pretty upset about it. But the type of person that I am, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, you threw my stuff in the lake, I'm going to go get your stuff and throw it into the lake as well. I would just be pissed off in general.
Yeah.
I'd probably be yelling and screaming in the moment, but I get over things pretty quickly. I'll just be like, okay, whatever. I'll just get my stuff, you know, try to retrieve and fix the things that I can fix and retrieve. But I just don't like the one-upping shit. I think that's the most childish crap that you can do in general. Like, oh, you did this to me, I'm gonna do this. Like one-upping people and like doing fire with fire, it doesn't really fix anything. You're just making shit worse. And that happened. That happened. God knows what else is gonna happen because people don't know how to put their big girl pants on and be an adult. Like, that's just my opinion.
Yep. And, you know, people in the comments, I should speak out about domestic violence. Of course, I fucking hate domestic violence. There's no reason a man should put his hands on a woman, right? And I'm not going to defend that. But what I'm saying is, because of the situation and what's happening, like, there's more to it than just me getting up here and dogging wings out for 2 hours. I'm not going to do that. You know, should it have happened? No, it shouldn't have happened. And you know, my thoughts on wings have changed a little bit. I'll say that right now. They have changed a little bit. But, you know, at the same time, this isn't a place for me to just fucking dog out and cuss them out, because what's that going to do? It's not going to do anything. And it's up to the boss man and his co-host to figure out what to do with him. That's not my call. That's not at all my call. I mean, I know what I would do if I was in charge. But again, it's not my company. I'm not Keemstar. You know what I mean? And I'm still new to this whole, I guess, arena of content creation. And of course, it should never been looked at as content. No one wants that. But at the same time, with just everything going on in my head, personally and professionally and all that, I probably didn't make the right call. And I probably should have done more. And again, someone said that's survivor's guilt. No, that's not survivor's guilt. That's just, you know better next time. And that's all I'm going to say.
The thing is that you don't have to explain yourself because you were there and you tried to do something. The worst thing you could have done is nothing at all.
Yeah.
And this is what I hate the most about some people that are in the LCU as like viewers or something. They always feel like they could have done better when that's not true.
Yep.
You weren't here. You don't know the situation. You don't know the trials and tribulations that people had to go through in order to even do something, to even take the first step. And I hate whenever something happens, it's usually us. We're the first show. We have to come here. We have to be like, okay, this is what we did. This is what we could have done better. This is our explanation.
Yep.
And then people are commenting over and over again, like, you could have done better. You could have done this. Explain yourself for your boundaries. And it's like, we don't have to. We do it because we respect ourselves and we respect the viewers and we respect the situation in general.
Yep.
I'm whistling so much. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
But in general, we're adults. We handle it the best that we could. The only thing that we can do is next time, if this ever happened, hopefully there's never a next time. But we already experienced it and we know what to do next time in general.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we need to give you an explanation. There's no reason why we need to explain ourselves. Because if you saw Cafe so far, you can tell that we're pretty rational people in general.
Yeah, I try to be.
You're probably the most rational adult here, and that's why I needed you to come to Fat Camp so bad.
And like I said before, I understand why you were mad. I get the stress you were under, and it's really opened up my eyes to a lot of things, and that's all I'm going to say. But,
Some dude is like, Beans doesn't like criticism. I'm how do I not like criticism if I'm just giving you my response? People just want to shit on you so fucking bad and they want you to keep quiet. I'm not going to keep quiet. I'm telling you, if somebody gives a boundary, shut up and respect somebody's boundary. If somebody did something and you feel like it could have been done better, he's telling you exactly what happened. Like, hey,
Yep.
I barely had space. This was happening. You don't know what's going through somebody's mind when things are real and not scripted. This is not saying that we don't like criticism. We're literally responding to your comments.
Yep. And thank you for your comment. Thank you for your view. You're really helping us out. You have no idea.
Get that chat rate up, bitches.
And that's it. Charity, welcome to Band World. We appreciate you. I can't, looks like China Weth. My bad. I apologize. Thank you for your Band World. And Alex Fair, welcome to Cash Cow. We appreciate you on that one. Retro Nook for 5, no excuse, but like Billy said, these are creatures of comfort, mental health issues, suddenly put in a bad mixed energy environment, too much, too quick. So, I mean, yeah, best way to put it. I mean, it is what it is. And again, hindsight's always 20/20. Yeah, so we have Mr. Shy wanted to join us, give his opinion. Welcome, Mr. Shy. Hope all is well. This sumbitch is beautiful. I just want to tell everybody that a very positive person. I appreciate meeting him. He's a huge supporter of the show, so I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, to piggyback off the positive vibe, I just want to call out some shit that Baja is saying in the Discord. I woke up this morning to some crazy allegations that I was escorted off the property. Now,
Hold on, he said that?
He said that, and I was so confused. People kept saying that. I was like, so Baja left earlier than Shy did, and the last time I saw Shy, he was just like chilling, drinking in the gaming room, so I'm very confused. What happened exactly?
nothing. Baja literally, I feel like he was sitting there being like, oh, I can make some content for the Discord. And then he says that like there was an altercation and I jumped on him and he's a black belt.
So, this is what I'm going to say. Baja, you're an awesome person. I love you to death. And I think it's humor. He was just trying to stir up some shit. But also, before you stir up shit, talk to the person. So that way you can play off of each other. Because if it's not in a camera, it's just writing, and you want a genuine reaction, that's not the way to get it. Or kind of like Twiggy said, right? He wanted Rastoff's like real reaction to the crazy shit he does, and that's why I didn't tell him. On camera, it's a little different than just in a Discord with writing, right? So, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Baja's being a real BICTH right now.
Ooh.
And you know, the fight that we had, no one was escorted, but it was all love. That's all I really got to say, Baja. Keep my name out your fucking mouth.
Shy with the gifted. Thank you, sir.
With the 1738.
That's it. We love you, Shy. Appreciate you, bro. Lovejoy with the Australian $7.99 from down under. No need to apologize, Ken. You did a lot to mediate the situation. Agree. It's a lot to consider when dealing with the 400-pound man. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Lovejoy. I appreciate you for that one. Lady Nerd Artist with the 10. Love you guys, but after the few days, all I feel bad is for Becky. She acts like a drama cow and starts things, but everyone around her has made it normal for her to be treated like trash. Much love to y'all. So there's a saying. I don't know if that's being much used anymore in the younger communities, but growing up, you know, I'm an 80s baby. People used to say, you reap what you sow, right? So here's the thing. When you put yourself in a certain light and you make yourself a certain way, people are going to treat you that way. And I'll even go mask off. I talked to Twiggy about it, you know, because, you know, Twiggy and Rastoff had his issue. And I said, bro, when you act a certain kind of way and all that, my mind's tracking. I'm sorry. I literally called him the definition of Peter and the Wolf, because you don't know when he's trying to amp up for the camera, trying to be a character, but then when he's trying to be serious, because of how he is, no one takes him serious. Even if he says, I'm being dead ass right now, no one will believe him just because of how he is, because he's done that in the past and still was kind of joking around.
For the younger generation, Peter and the Wolf is the boy who cried wolf. I had to
Got 'em
figure
all.
that out. I had to figure that out whenever I heard you say it a couple times. I'm like, who's Peter?
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, that's the boy.
Peter Griffin.
I didn't know he had a name, but yeah, that's the boy who cried wolf, and I think that's what a lot of people have been feeling with a lot of hosts. Like,
Yeah. So real quick, the junk with funk, the $11.99. There was a 400-pound man running around at people. What could you do, Ken? Maybe security should have been around. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they had their post, they had demand, and one of the general order is you never leave your post until you're properly relieved.
yeah.
So
I think we were more worried about what was happening outside getting in than inside being a problem. Plus, we have like a lot of like non-lethal like precautions, and I don't
Yeah.
know if you ever seen like an elephant. Whenever you shoot it with something, like sometimes it can get even more enraged.
yeah, because
that makes
it annoys them.
Exactly, and I feel like the way that Wings was at that moment, if anybody were to even poke the man, he would probably get even more enraged. It was best to just let him calm down. However that would have happened.
Yep. And then Doja 94. What's up, Doja? Appreciate you, sir. Another longtime supporter of mine. Sorry for what you guys are going through. If anyone can turn this around, it's Keem. Fat Cam can still in with the W. Love y'all. We love you, Doja. And just like Keem said on his stream last night, it's just one of those things where they need to get back to having fun. And that's what Fat Camp was supposed to be. The ultimate goal was for them to lose weight. They've been losing weight, right? And that goal was met. The other goal was to get, people together, the hosts together, do shows, make content, and just have fun. It's all about having fun. So they're going to get back to that. And it sucks that certain people couldn't be here to experience that with them and be a part of it. But again, like I said, you reap what you sow. And, there's no... With one of them, there's no love lost, and I hope they never come back. And with the other one, I hope that perceptions are not true, and I hope that the help is received that's needed. And we'll leave it at that.
Exactly. So Cowabunga, welcome to Band World, and then
Appreciate you.
Aaron Baker with the $9.99. Today's reap what you sow is F around and find out.
Basically. So, yeah. It's just been one of those days, man. Like I said, yesterday was just a lot, because here's the thing. I even said it, like the Becky altercation felt like it was so long ago, but it was literally the same fucking day. Because when they say time in the LCU moves fast, it literally does. Like none of that felt like it was the same fucking day. And that's the wild thing about it. So Black Belladonna with the 10. Baja is a lying liar who lies. Was anyone actually kicked out last night permanently? I don't trust him at all. So
There were a couple people that got kicked out permanently.
Yeah.
When it comes to Shy, that is the lying liar, lying lie.
that is a lying liar who lies. Yeah, Shy's fine. As you saw, he was here. Hopefully, him and Baja can be men and figure it out.
You're here in Baja.
That is true, yeah.
Exactly true.
That is true. So
But apparently there was like also King Scott in the mix for some reason. They said that you and King Scott were like fighting and he got arrested and all this other stuff. And I was like,
no,
King Scott left early in the afternoon.
bro. When I got here, well, here's the thing, right?
The three most non-confrontational people. Yeah, exactly. You guys are so chill in the background while everything's happening. And I'm just like, okay, these are the chill guys.
Here's the thing, right? When I got here yesterday, King Scott was leaving to go home. You know what I mean? So no, nothing happened there.
I think he told me about a couple things that I forgot to tell you because but
I can't.
we'll discuss it
God,
later.
beans of forgiveness or forgetfulness.
I am a very forgetful person. I have
I see
the
that.
mind of a goldfish sometimes.
I
And
see
the
that.
coffee with like extra espresso does not help, but I love it.
Yep. I will say though, King Scott did give me some spices. So shout out to King Scott for that one. I can't wait to cook with him.
And the poop coffee. He got you the poop.
He got me the shit coffee. So I can't wait to try that one too. Cat shit coffee. Apparently it has an FDA stamp of approval on it. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to drink cat shit for the fans.
If it makes him sick, can we sue him? He has a lot of money, apparently, if he's crowns for like almost all the shows.
Oh man, I'm gonna drink shit coffee and I'm gonna piss Scott off. I can't. Yeah, and then the coffee you got the other day was really good.
Oh yeah,
That was fucking delicious, man.
yeah. So Lord Rush took us to the liquor store to buy some stuff.
Shocking.
Yeah, I never really been in a liquor store before, but I was like, oh, maybe there's something in here for non-drinking people. And
Yep.
I saw that there was some coffee, and it's like coffee of Texas or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this for Ken. I want him to expand his palate. Try some different coffees. And I saw it, and I was like, yoink, this is for Ken.
It's beautiful. Thank you. I will say,
It's good.
oh yeah. I am kind of sad that Nightmare's coffee got confiscated, so I couldn't try the UK coffee. But I got him a 2-pound bag of Tim Hortons to take home with him. Hopefully, it doesn't get confiscated. And I told him to keep it sealed, right? And hopefully that happens. We got owner, I believe, for the $4.99. On a positive note, can we talk about the party on stream last night after everything happened? So I'm gonna let you take that away, Beans, as I was not here. But what happened?
I don't know because I was sleeping.
Shy, come here. Were you awake? Were you awake for the party?
He's a party animal. What happened?
Yeah,
Guy?
we got a donation because they want to know what happened after the stream went off.
Let me check the maybe our docket team.
Yeah, it's fine. Shy's gonna fix the camera. He's gonna come on stream and tell us. On another note, Savage got here,
Yeah, Savage.
so that was cool.
Yeah,
She's taller than I expected.
for real. That's what I said when I first saw her.
Yeah.
It was kind of messed up because Roxy woke her up with her own like little air horn blaring thing.
I can't. I'd be mad as fuck. All right, Shy. After camera went off, what happened, sir?
Well,
You got in a fight with Baja.
yeah, we duked it out. I got escorted off, came back, hopped the fence.
Yep.
After the cameras went off, Mike, crashed because he was pretty lit.
Yep.
I don't know. It kind of chilled out after the cameras went off a little bit. Everyone kind of, realized like how fucking tired they were.
Yeah.
And, Brantley always being an amazing host and helping clean everything up in the kitchen.
Yep.
After the gumbo and all that. I don't know. It was pretty chill. It
good.
was 3:05 in the morning, so I think everyone was pretty checked out.
They were just tired of it, yeah. How long did they stream? Did they go 12 hours yesterday?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. They went.
Fuck. That's something, man. Like, they are making it happen. And, shout out to them for being able to do that, right? Like, I know that they're, like, rotating people in and out, but still, just to have, 5, 6 people rotating in and out of a camera and keeping content going for 12 hours is wild to me. I couldn't imagine doing that. Beans, you want to do a 12-hour stream on Cafe?
Hell no.
Beautiful. All right. So, Shy, is there any details that we're missing that, people think happened as far as Discord goes? Because I heard some stuff, but, it's not my story to tell. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let people tell their own stories. But
Look, all I got to say is that Baja and I have a very similar imagination, which makes us have a very special relationship. And, sometimes in Discord, when Baja wants to talk about our relationship, it can come across as maybe, I don't want to use any wrong terminology, but I don't want to say abusive because that might be a little too soon, but
yeah.
Baja and I get along, and tiffs happen. I get escorted off, come back, all good. So
Yeah. Good shit. I still want you at your job. I'm not going to say what it is, but I still want you to scream, "I can't." one time.
Yeah.
I need that to happen.
Yeah, this bill, I can't.
There it is.
All right, I'll head out.
Oh, I appreciate
Thank you for having me on.
Nah, sir. Thank you for coming on. So
He also got us some really cool mugs from his
yeah.
workplace.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I really appreciate.
that was fucking beautiful. I'm definitely going to use that on Cafe.
Hell yeah. Until we get our own mugs.
If that happens.
We need the coffee cult mug.
We do need the Coffee Cult mug.
Newport Poppy with the $2.
Ooh.
Longtime Skibidi watcher. Glad you addressed it.
Oh, man. Ski BD Beans. It's beautiful. John's over there, and one thing that John hates is "I can't." He hates that terminology. He hates that word.
He called it cringe.
Is that northern people are saying that they're not even southern. It's beautiful. So if you're in the Discord, please tag John and just keep saying "I can't." I just want y'all to do that for me. If he times you out, message me and I'll untime you out.
Mod abuse.
Because he's a bitch. But the funniest thing that I saw about John being here was someone put on the Reddit when did Chris Chan join the LCU, and they had a picture.
Oh my God, I saw
They
that.
had a picture of him, right? Just like a screenshot from the stream. Oh my God. I thought that was funny as fuck.
Yo, no matter what anybody says about John, he makes some good ass gumbo.
He does. Miss Tina's in the room. Hello, Miss Tina.
Good morning, Tina.
Tina is an awesome woman. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. And how she is off camera, she 100% is on camera. Albert's also a cool fucking dude. We love Albert here. We'll scoot down a little bit.
Well, what I was trying to say was not true was somebody said that, a lot of people weren't rash here. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, not true. I leave when it comes to drinking. I ain't getting involved in that.
No, I got you. So how you doing this morning, man? Get you some sleep?
No,
No?
I really just want to go home.
Yeah.
I found out today my uncle's wife passed away too.
Fuck.
On Facebook of all places.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's something that's been happening recently. Like, people don't even like reach out to
No.
family members anymore. They just put everything on Facebook, and it's like, if you see it, you see it. If you don't, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
And I bought an ass of real, new clothes. And my sister said, Tina, how come I haven't seen you in new clothes? I said, hell, they're throwing mustard, alcohol, all
Yeah.
kinds of shit around, but I'm not going to fuck up my shit.
No, you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
No.
I've been telling people that, like behind the scenes, you truly were like mad at a lot of things, because people have their opinions on content and all that. But I was telling people that legit, like you were pissed about a lot of shit that was happening.
One important thing is moral compass. Even when you come to these kind of things, there's a moral compass.
Yep.
With the Wings episode, I suffer from domestic violence.
Yep.
I started my channel on domestic violence.
Yep.
Getting women help. That triggered me. Then you got Becky and her bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point in my life, I'm 56 years old, I'm at the point in my life that I've already earned my right, and I'm not going to have some chubba bubba come in here and tell me what the fuck I'm going to do.
No, not at all. So, did anything like, I guess, conversations with you and Becky behind the scenes that you want to like comment on or anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
because she lied about a lot of things, and I noticed that she's methodical when she's thinking.
Yeah.
And some of the things I've said to her made me, after the show, like Mike's an asshole. Team should have never did this.
Yeah.
Big deal. She actually stretched it out, made it look worse than it had to be. And then one of the people that bullied me my majority of the time on YouTube, she tried to act like I was doing something to him so that he would come after me. Who the fuck she thinks she's dealing with?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, people were saying ever since she got here, the vibe was just all fucked up, and that truly was the case. I don't understand how one person can bring however many people are here to just be negative constantly and just so much shit happening. I just don't get it.
A lot of personalities were in the room. At home, your personality's pretty much hidden behind the camera, right?
Yes.
So a lot of different personalities. One of the biggest things was my son being here, and I could look at him, and he's like, that's it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep.
And I always had the option to go home, but that's a quitter,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to do that. However, I still wanted to be fucking fed.
Yes.
That didn't happen.
Nope. Y'all have literally gotten food every day. Y'all have not eaten one meal.
No,
And-
we have to go out and get it.
Yep.
And I didn't expect that. That's okay. I didn't expect not having the things that I need
Yeah.
at my disposal. We went your way last night, and it just scared us because we went in dark, and you just couldn't see nothing. It's so spread out here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like nothing. And then all you guys running around, Beans has been running around, then crash outs here, crash outs there. It brought the fun out of it.
It truly did, yeah. And that's, like I was telling Beans that before, like, being just a viewer and seeing what it was before I got here really put into perspective just how fucked up it's kind of been.
You're different, though. You're a military man. Everything has to be in order. My dad, till the day he passed away, still folded his underwear and socks the same way he learned it in the military.
Yep.
So military men, or even women for that matter, they live a OCD life. Everything's
Yes.
a certain way.
Yep.
Everything's done a certain way. Just like you got this, you drink coffee a certain time of day.
Yeah.
And you guys talk to people with common sense. You guys made more today, excuse me, than I've seen in a long time with you guys' channel.
Appreciate
So you know
that.
what that was? All this wilding out. People said, wait a minute, we signed up for this. We got to have something cool, calm, and collective.
Yep. So that's the whole thing, like the whole point of Cafe, right? Is to
Yep.
bring some sort of like solidarity, bring some sort of common sense to the LCU and try and be that chill stream that people can come to and just talk, you know what I mean?
But I did have a dream King was chasing me.
Shocking.
Yeah, it
I
was.
can see that.
In my sleep.
Hell yeah.
Real quick, Vit with the 199. You guys are great. Will there be Locale Live later?
We have to ask the cult leader. Keem, is anybody going live today?
Local Live will be live today.
Okay, Will.
Okay, cool, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Important announcements to make.
So tune in because if not, you're going to miss all the important announcements
Just make sure you're checking announcements in Discord.
as well. Yes.
Keem's gonna be a monk. Last night, you guys are. I seen it on video. Oh my goodness, Michael, I'm gonna fuck you up today. Sorry, you guys. I'm gonna
man.
fuck you up today, Mike.
It's beautiful.
You're getting it.
You Sussy with the $5. Me and Hugh Jass got scammed and nobody cared. What do you mean?
What do you mean, huge ass?
I mean, you Sussy, yeah.
Yeah, you sussy.
Wow.
I think it was because all the TTS promos that we're having last
yeah.
night. Buff Weeb, one
Hey.
of my newest favorite
What's up,
people
Buff
to
Weeb?
come on the scene. $2. Drunk Xylee was amazing. Love you, Cafe Crew.
I don't agree. I couldn't take how loud, even though I'm a loud person, but she like pretty much was very loud over everybody, including the party.
Ooh.
And a lot of people were like, no, we don't like this one.
Yeah.
Drunk
No.
Xylee. She had a cigarette for like the first time in a long time.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years, I think it was.
No,
No, I don't
not at all.
think so. Unless Madhouse, but we haven't heard.
Well, I'm
anything.
going
Well,
to town.
it's Sunday.
I'm going to town. Y'all enjoy your time. Beans, always special. Keep it real. I'm
Yep.
going to town to ride some horses.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, have fun.
No, I'm not. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to eat.
There it
I'm
is.
going to eat.
It would have been really nice to see her ride a horse.
Have you seen me on a
Oh.
horse? I'd kick the shit out of a horse.
That's funny. I do have to say real quick before you leave, ma'am, Albert's a cool motherfucker.
Yeah, he's down to earth.
I love
I
Albert.
wouldn't piss him off, though. That's what I like
That's a
about
cool
him.
guy, man. What we
He's
sat
like
there.
calm before a storm.
Oh yeah, like we sat there and talked for a little bit. He's a cool dude, man. I know that he probably don't want to be on camera and talk a lot, but he generally is a cool ass guy. So we love you, bro.
He reminds me of myself because sometimes he just like goes off and does his own thing. He doesn't want to be like in big crowds, like it makes him nervous.
Yeah.
I feel the same exact way. He's just
Yeah,
chilling, doing his
but
own thing.
he's a cool dude though. He's a cool dude. But, was there any other donuts to catch up on?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mooch with the $5. Huge W, Tina. Speaking what so many of us think and agree with. Love you.
Yeah, Tina's a real one. She will always keep it real.
John Pond 09 with the $4.99. Why is there so much food there and no one is sharing with Tina? There is really not that much food, especially with like, for example, the brisket. The brisket was like this big. and
Yeah, it went
there's
like
so
that.
many
It
people
was going,
here.
yeah. So I definitely want I've cooked breakfast twice, and I've made sure that people eat or whatever. But unfortunately, it's a first come first serve thing, and because it's just not going to sit there. But when I make my steak tacos and all that tonight, I'll definitely make sure Tina and Albert get some because I want them to get some home cooking.
Exactly.
And definitely Grim and Beans and King. Like I got 4 pounds of ribeye. So I think there'll definitely be a decent amount of food here. But I don't want Tina. I don't want to leave and Tina didn't try my cooking at least once.
Goose with the Canadian $10. Buff for a show. Love you guys. I do want to see Buff on a show. I think like he has a lot of personality. He's
Yes.
also a cook like you.
Oh yeah.
He does know a lot of nerdy stuff. He's a he has a dichotomy that to me is very interesting. Just being a nerd, being buff, having so much personality. It's kind of like whenever Grimm first got on the scene and he was doing his trial for Locale Court, and Keemstar was surprised because he's like, "What do you do?" And Grimm said, "I'm an IT guy," and he's like, "You're very weird for an IT
He
guy."
doesn't fit the bill of an IT person.
No,
he has a
because-
lot of personality. He's engaging in a conversation. These IT people are very reclusive.
Exactly. So in general, I think Buff Weeb would be a very interesting person to see on camera more often than not.
100%.
You Sussy with the $5. We paid for the tattoo and got scammed. Bro, you were not going to get that tattoo, especially with the way that he was acting. We needed something more positive, and him acting the way that he did. I don't know if he just did it for attention or something.
Yeah. So, just real quick, I'll give y'all a little peek behind the curtain. Nightmares, I believe he's a tattoo artist, or he's been involved in tattoo work, and they were talking about possibilities. So, I don't know what happened after that conversation, but again, remember, Locale Live is going live today to talk about some stuff and announce some things. So if y'all want to ask, no, ma'am, we're good. Thank you, ma'am. So make sure you ask there and make sure you give your input there. That way they can answer you directly. And we'll leave it at that.
So there is a comment from just a random YouTube user that says, so Fat Camp is kind of just a theme, not an actual real goal here. It seems that the only person who really is trying to possibly drop some pounds is Billy. But to be fair, Billy is the best improv actor there. So, we might have started on the wrong foot when it came to Fat Camp. But so far, they have been losing weight and they have been going through the ketosis.
Mike's lost some weight. Mike has lost a lot of weight.
He did. He probably lost enough weight for that little baby. I don't know.
I still want to squeeze it.
Ew, no. It's going to give me nightmares.
Hey, look, when we make steak tacos and we need like some crema, right? Just put some crema on that thing, squeeze it. Be funny as hell. Eat the taco.
We are going to have a trainer here pretty soon. There was just a bit of problems when it came to where in state we are.
Yeah.
But
that'll all get figured out.
That'll all get figured out, and he'll be here soon, and we can do some exercises. I want to get some muscle on me,
Well, I've been doing the rock climbing thing, man, and I know Grim was talking about, like the weight he's lost and like the grip strength he's gained and everything else, and that's beautiful. Like going to the gym and just being like doing like mundane workouts can definitely be tiring. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're like a bodybuilder, if you're like a fitness person, you know what I mean? Like that's like your life. You're in it to win it, right? But like for people that are just trying to get into like losing weight, you lose weight in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. That is where weight is lost. And gaining the muscle mass, burning the calories, because the simple recipe to losing weight is burn more calories than you intake. That is the simplest way to lose weight. Obviously, the body needs a certain amount of nutrition. Beautiful. Certain amount of nutrition, certain amount of vitamins, you know what I mean? Like obviously, right, just to live life, and your body needs a certain amount of calories to just perform certain functions. The digestive system needs certain things too. The human body is a dichotomy of things that you need. Mm-hmm. And if you look at medical science, it's changed so much over the years, and it's going to continue to change just because technology is better, health is better, science is better. But this, like I said, the simple recipe is to, burn more than you intake. That's why a lot of people do like the one meal a day. Like they eat all the food they want in that one meal, and then the rest of the day they don't eat anything. And then as they go through just their day, they're burning calories. Go to the gym for like 30, 45 minutes, do a quick workout. You're burning calories, So.
That's a thing that I always found weird about Grim. Grim will only eat once a day, but he used to eat a lot in one sitting, and I can't do that. I get hungry every hour to 2 hours, depending on how much I eat in one sitting.
Yeah.
But in general, that's very true. And something that I do want to kind of address is that it's just difficult for people when it comes to, making abs in the kitchen. People, because of culture, because of the way that they were raised in general, a lot of people don't know how to make healthy foods. And some people think that, if you want to eat healthy, the only thing you eat is white rice, chicken, and broccoli, when that's not the case.
No.
There are ways to make very delicious food that are good for you.
Yes.
And that's something that I wanted to kind of touch upon when we do cooking with Ken. We can do some really good, just comfort foods, I guess. And then we can do some healthy foods for people to, ooh, I got food. Perfect timing to talk about food. Give me those. What's
so prime time was 2.4, but before 2.8, yes, but before prime time it was 666. Fuck yeah, 1.3. Thank you to the 1.3 watching us. That is beautiful. On just a normal Sunday unplanned stream. Thank you guys. I know there's a lot of people wanting to know because I think we're the first stream after that Locale live stream, and I get that, but I know this is a little unconventional for what we normally do. But hopefully y'all do give us a chance, when we get home. Normally we're a morning show that just drinks coffee, go over real world events, real world news, just to give perspective outside the LCU. And then obviously talk about LCU drama. That happens. That's just kind of our niche and what we do. So, we do have coffee coming out on Locale Cafe Coffee. We do have our merch store at locale.co, collect the Locale Cafe, connect your YouTube to that, and they're going to build a reward system so you can get like reward points for ordering merch.
That's cool.
So yeah, you can definitely check that out. The Whataburger is here. Beautiful.
I'll just get a fry.
Speaking of healthy food,
Hey, I don't need to eat healthy. I'm a skinny, okay?
I'm just being funny because it's like we were talking about healthy foods, and then here comes the Whataburger. You know what I mean? That's all I'm
eat
saying.
whatever I want.
That is fair. But, you know, with healthy cooking, it's hard to just because of the economy and just organic foods and healthy foods being so expensive. It's hard for people to eat it and afford it, especially because of just, you know, job and money and all that. So that's kind of another thing. But there's definitely ways to do it.
Spicy ketchup, which is always a necessity.
Oh, 100%.
Michael Hart, which I've seen in the comments a couple times, I believe that he is also an Army man, if I'm not mistaken. He says, I went through basic training at Fort Jackson in July of 1988, 1 month after high school. Was Ken actually a drill sergeant? So we talked about this a couple times. You wanted to be a drill sergeant.
I wanted to go to drill sergeant school. So when I got medicaled out, it was January 2nd, 2018. I developed degenerative disc disease in my neck. And for y'all that have been in the service, there's something called PULHEs, right? It's the psyche, the upper body, the lower body, your hearing, eyes, ears, and then S. I forgot what the S was, but you know, for my neck, I got a rating of 3, which means I was ineligible for service. So that's why I got medicaled out. I was 2 months away from Afghanistan deployment that I wish I went on. My wife wasn't going to be happy that I went. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? But I really did want to go to drill sergeant school. I was in E5. I was getting ready to go to ALC, Advanced Leadership Course, for my MOS, which was 92 Fox. And yeah, I really wanted to go because I think it'd be a lot of fun. 1, because I have the demeanor and I have the stature and all that. And 2, training was one of my favorite things to do. Like getting, you know, an E1 fuzzy out of like AIT and all that shit, right? Or E2, whatever. And, you know, just training them, showing them the way and all that. I enjoyed it. Love you, bro.
Real quick.
Take care, Shy.
Tiffany Honecker, I think it is. $2 is Milker's going live today. I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, so Milker's is going live right after us. So I believe that'll be 1-ish, around 1 o'clock.
2 for people on the East Coast.
2 for East Coast, yeah. So be ready for that. Savage is here. She arrived. And then obviously, you know, Roxy is here. And, you know, we'll...
I wonder how Psycho Mom feels about the whole situation.
We'll find out on Milkers. Mm-hmm. But how do you like the 2-hour format now compared to 90 minutes? I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
I feel like we talked about it before, but me personally, I like it for cafe because we have so much to talk about. A lot of people have been missing the news and the LCU together.
Yeah.
So far, we only have been doing LCU just because of what's been happening, but...
Yeah. The other thing, too, is we don't have, like, our normal format. Like, we don't have the docket. We don't have, like, the birds and all that, you know what I mean? And, like, the daily horoscopes and, like, your thing, I can't with Ken and Beans and all that. Like, so this is definitely different. And since this is the first stream after what happened yesterday, you know, it's kind of a different demeanor than we normally have. You know, it's kind of hard to, you know, be cafe knowing what we'd have to talk about.
Exactly.
It's a very, very serious subject.
Very serious. At least we had the intro today, kind of. We had primetime intro, but...
Hey.
Kane's Corner with the European 10. Could y'all stop setting the LCU on fire while I'm working / sleeping / traveling? I can't.
Hey, Kane's Corner. We love you, bro. Kane's an awesome individual. Yeah. But no, like I said, man, I do like going back to the 2-hour format. I think we don't feel as rushed. We can kind of take our time with things. We can focus more on, like, you know, chat interaction, fan interaction, instead of getting through what we want to get through. And, you know, I've done this a million times, and I'll do it again. I love our docket team. Those are very beautiful people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when they put stuff in the docket that we don't get to it, I do kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
Because they're taking their time, they're taking their energy, you know, like for free to help us make a show. And they are the reason why we have a great show, because they give us the good content to go over. So, you know, I know they've had like some downtime with us being here, and, you know, they definitely deserve it. you know, because like I said, outside of Locale Live, we have the best docket team ever. I love those guys.
Yeah, I say that with my chest whenever
Straight
I say
up.
it, because like not only are they our docket team, like they do a lot of work for us, but not only that, but whenever other shows are on, sometimes we'll just go into the cafe chat and just like chat it up.
Yeah.
We're like, we silently judge people, or we just talk about the content in general. And
Talk about I can't.
Exactly. We're just like, I can't this, I can't that. What are you guys doing today? I don't know, but I can't.
Yep.
Just to give them a little bit of love, because they did do some stuff in the docket for us, which I didn't expect.
Let me address this real quick. I don't mean this in a nasty way, but Ken, how did it feel when you couldn't stop Wings from moving while you were holding him? So, this is what I'm going to say. It wasn't just me. It was other people there trying to hold him. And because they were going into a confined space, I'll try to have as much situational awareness as possible to not have an accident happen that I caused. And because of external circumstances, I did the best I could. And you have to remember, at the time, with the camera rolling, that was going on in the back of my head the entire time, as far as like, you know, where do I step in? Where do I don't step in? You know what I mean? Because again, none of that should have been content, but at the same time, you know, this was just a fucked up moment in the LCU, and this was just a fucked up situation to be involved in. When you're there, like in the moment, you know, if this was anywhere else, I know what I would have done immediately. But because of circumstances, because of the people here, because of the amount of eyes on a situation, I probably did a lot less than I should have. And again, that's something I got to live with, knowing what happened. But I don't know, man. I did the best I could at the circumstance. But again, if it was in a different situation, a different area, I would have done a lot more. But there was just too many variables that were going on in my head at the same time. That's all it was.
That's very true. I think, in my opinion, you did the best that you could, especially with the cameras rolling. If you did something more and it kind of went too far, that's on camera and people can use that against you. I think that's also what happened with the situation.
Let's just say, right, because people said I should have just decked his ass. Let's just say, for the sake of example, I literally clenched my fist and fucking rocked Wings in the damn chin and dropped him, right? Or I'm not saying it would have dropped him, but let's just say I did my best to drop him. That would have been so much worse. Mm-hmm. So much worse for me and what happened. And again, hindsight's always 20/20, right? I can go back and watch the footage and say, damn, I should have done this, I should have done that, or whatever, right? But when you're in the moment and that all that shit going on in my head, you have to understand, right? Like, my mind works a lot differently than other people, you know, because, you know, I'm on certain medications to not let my anger get to a certain point where it could go. But I was just trying to just do the best I could. And, you know, people in chat were saying that they were gaslighting me. I mean, I don't give a fuck, right? Because no matter what I say, it's not going to appease everybody. And I know that about myself. But at the same time, I think I did the best that I could. And, you know, I was the one person called on because they felt that I could, you know, help calm down the situation. Mm-hmm. Right? No one else could bear that responsibility but me. Mm-mm. And because of that, it weighs on me a lot more.
Exactly. I think that you explained yourself enough.
Yeah, let's move on.
There's just trolls trying to troll you.
Yeah, I don't care at this point. Let's just move on.
But let's get back to the positive, the regular. Everybody was saying Billy, and I was like, where's Billy in the chat? And I'm like, oh, wait, no, they see him in the reflection of the fireplace.
Yeah, Billy's here. Billy's good. What's up, sir? Hope you're well, sir. And let's get it.
So let's get back to the positive Lol-Cal Cafe. We can't pull up the Big Bear Eagles right now, but we can talk about the daily horoscope.
Yes, we can.
So today is March 23rd. The Aries born on March 23rd is a self-deprecating, good-natured... Deprecating? Depreciating? I can't read today.
Yeah, the Aries born on March 23rd is a self-deprecating, good-natured person who can differentiate between taking their work and taking themselves too seriously. And then talkative.
Talkative and outgoing, they give the appearance of being highly organized, but they prefer to take life as it comes. I have a certain way of thinking when I hear the word deprecating. So I was like, deprecating, good nature, and I'm just like,
Yeah, so self-deprecating means it's just a lot of like self-reflection, right? And kind of like beating yourself up. That's what self-deprecating means.
Yeah, exactly. So beating yourself up, like, I don't know. You should never beat yourself up. I think a lot of people do that on the daily, kind of like what you're doing now. You're kind of beating
Yeah.
yourself up
Yeah.
for what happened yesterday. And
Yeah.
I think you should always reflect. Reflection is a really good thing. That's what I always tell people. If you can't
Yeah.
go to therapy, the first thing that you should do is kind of go through your day, what you did in that day, what you could have done better, but not beat yourself up or do some deprecating, because that doesn't really
Definitely.
fix anything. You
Definitely.
have to try to improve yourself every single day. And yeah, that's my therapy. That's what I do. Sometimes I journal, and that's
Yeah.
a really good thing. But in general,
I just want to say real quick, because the next one is this day in history. Since I'm not going to be here tomorrow, that day in history, 12 years ago, me and my wife started dating.
it's so cute.
March 24th, yeah.
Oh, is that why you're going home tomorrow?
I mean, since we're married now, we celebrate the marriage anniversary, right? But I still like to try to do something a little special for her on March 24th, because that's the day we actually started dating. So, I mean, it would be, 12 years ago we started dating.
12 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
And you still have so much love for her, because you were talking about her all day.
Yeah,
showing pictures, and it's the cutest thing in the world. I love.
I
when
miss her,
people do that.
man. That's my ride or die. I miss that woman so much.
Well, like for example, what you were talking about whenever you're used to sleeping with your significant other, like sleeping without them just doesn't feel the same. You don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Your quality of sleep goes down, and that's what's been happening when it comes to like me and Grim, because I'm used to sleeping. We don't sleep together all the time, but when we do, it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
Like he's warm and toasty, and like that's what I was looking forward to this entire trip. Like I can sleep with Grim in our cabin, and the fact that we couldn't do that because I have to go to sleep during Aussie in order to wake up early for a cafe and have enough
Yeah.
sleep and things like that. Like the few times that we do sleep together, we can sleep together, I appreciate it much more.
Definitely. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going home tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
This day in history, March 23rd, 1842, the first recorded use of anesthesia took place during surgery, as William T.G. Morton demonstrated either as an anesthetic in Boston.
I'm curious what they made that out of.
Oh, ether. Ether?
I don't know, but regardless, right? You're talking like mid 1800s, right? What did they make anesthesia from back then? You know what I mean? Because obviously it's nothing like shit nowadays. Because again, medicine and science come so far, but like it's just weird thinking about what they could have made. I know, like my mind's just frozen thinking about that. I'm sorry.
I know that it probably worked, but it wasn't anything good. I think back in the day, they didn't really care about like what things were made of. They were just like, if it works, it works. For example, makeup. Makeup used to be made out of like lead and shit. Imagine having that on your face. You're slowly killing yourself every day.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's why I barely wear it. I've been wearing makeup a lot more just because of locale in general. Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
go on stream without it, but most of the time I do have it on. And it's been messing with my skin in general. I've been
Yeah.
trying to do more skincare, but I think it's also the stress.
I can see that.
It's
100% see that. I think I'm getting more white hairs, chat. I don't know. Like I think starting to fill in a little bit.
There was a joke that Billy made yesterday after the whole situation. Billy was saying, he was being really nice to me and Grim. He's saying like, oh, you guys are doing a really good job. I can see you guys like with white hair still working for Keemstar. And like in that moment, I was like, you mean next week? I'm pretty sure we're going to have white hair next week.
Yeah.
Like you're not talking about a long time nor a good time. You're talking about next week being like stressed out over everything that's happening at Fat Camp.
Yeah, so the funny part too is, after me and my wife got together, I started growing gray hairs, and I'm like, this is all your fault. It's funny.
A lot of people are saying I don't need makeup. You don't. I need it. I need it, especially with like the lack of sleep. I'm getting bags under my eyes, and they're not Gucci. Let me tell you that.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? Like, I tell my wife all the time she doesn't need to wear makeup. She's beautiful as hell, like without it, And whenever she wears it, I'm like, why are you wearing makeup? You don't need to. And it's a confidence thing for her, and like she wants to look a certain way, and I get it, right? So I try and support her all I can for that one, but she never needed to wear makeup, ever.
People always look at me and they're like, you're not 25, you look 16. I'm just like, well, one of the most important things is you should be wearing sunscreen every single day. without fail. Wear sunscreen every single day because that's what ages you, the sun, UV rays, and all that jazz.
Yeah. Especially where you're at.
Florida, hell yeah. But what else? Do some skincare. It doesn't matter if you do like hyaluronic acid every couple days. If you're over the age of 25, I think you should start like a retinol. Something that's really messed up is that there's a lot of kids nowadays going to Sephora or Ulta and they're buying retinols. And
Yeah.
it's like, you don't need that. You don't need that until you're almost to the age of 30. And that's what's messing up a lot of these, like, all these kids' skin. Like, there are children, there are teenagers now that look 30 because they're trying to do the makeup like the big women, or they
it'll fuck
use
you up.
retinol and stuff like that. Like, act your age, be your age, because once you're at that age that you're trying to act or look like, you're going to regret it so much.
Oh, yeah. And one thing I will say for the men out there, like if you have like dry, cracked hands, because I do doing, work I do or whatever, working hands from Amazon's like a lotion you can get, best thing for dry skin. It is amazing for men.
Working hands?
It's literally called working hands. It's unscented and there's no perfumes because I got a skin condition, right, from my service. So I can't do like cologne, perfume, or like deodorants or certain things because my skin will get irritated. But yeah, working hands is unscented. It's very good. It's literally just heavy moisturizers. You know what I mean? And it's really good for the hands.
Yeah, so something that I found really interesting is that we have the same skin condition, which is tinea versicolor.
Tinea versicolor, yeah.
Yeah, so we have the same skin condition. Like, we're very similar in the way that we think and speak,
Yeah, it's surprising, actually.
even though we're like two completely different people. Like, you're a giant, I'm tiny.
Yeah, we are pretty polar opposites. But yeah, just similarities are pretty crazy. That's why Cafe's successful. Give it to me, Beans. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
What else were we talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's just a wild day, man. We're doing the day in history, but we got, 20 minutes? Yeah, so if y'all got any questions in the chat, throw them in the chat. You know what I mean? We'll definitely answer them and all of that. And, Milkers is getting ready to do their thing, and the boss man's walking over here.
What's going on?
What up, sir?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel like someone needs to give me a coffee because I'm on cafe right now. I feel like that's mandatory.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, you're going live today. People in the chat were asking about it. So, anything they can look forward to?
We are going live today. We're not really sure what the exact plan is. I mean, everything's kind of like crazy right now because of everything that's happening. But what are you looking at?
I'm looking at your neck. I'm sorry, I didn't see it up close.
Are you a vampire?
Probably.
No, I live off of coffee. If there was coffee in your veins, I probably would, to be honest.
There's coffee and tobacco in my veins.
There it is. Some people were saying they felt scammed from last night's stream, I guess with Boogie and the tattoo thing. Like I said, I wasn't here for that one, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, he was on the verge of a real mental breakdown. I've seen it firsthand, and I'm not doing that. Like,
You're just like, I'm done and over with this crap.
if someone's saying like, hey, I feel scammed, it's like, get scammed. Like, honestly, fuck you. I'm not doing it. Like, he was not good in that moment.
Yeah.
And I pulled the brakes on it. And I kind of feel whatever. It is what it is.
I'm with you, yeah. So one thing we were talking about, I know there was a lot of expectations for Fat Camp and people wanted certain things to happen. And obviously there was a lot of hurdles you had to face that were unexpected. Mm-hmm. So just kind of the state of Fat Camp was kind of thrown off a little bit in the beginning. Y'all are doing your best. And, I think y'all put out the best product that you possibly could outside of certain variables that couldn't be planned for. But, just...
I mean, we legitimately have put out great content. We've broken all kinds of records.
Yes.
In the beginning, I was trying to field some of the complaints that people were saying. And then I realized, oh, wait, our audience complains about everything. So it's like,
yep.
I think Fat Camp has been an amazing success. The viewership is way up. The subscribers are way up. The money is way up.
Yep.
Fat Camp has almost fully paid for itself already since we've been here. So it's like, dude, I don't know. It doesn't matter what we do. People are going to complain. And I need those complaints for engagement, because without that, then, if no one's talking about you, you're kind of dead. But, as long as people are still bitching, they're doing a great service for the local live universe. So we appreciate you. Cry more.
100%. That's why I tell people all the time in chat, like, you know, you're gauging. Thank you for your view, and thank you for your chat rate. I appreciate it. So something else, I don't know if y'all gonna address this or not, is some people are asking, is Becky truly fired? Like, there's been a lot of questions. We get donos asking that or whatever. Like, I don't know how to answer that because that's not my call. But that's just something.
She is not fired. I don't know where that came from that she was fired. She was sent home.
Okay.
But no, she is not fired. And, you know, Wings is on a suspension.
Yeah.
And Becky technically is not on a suspension. So, you know, we have to field that. And I just haven't had time to even think about that. Should Becky be on a suspension? You know, what Becky did is not really the same thing as Wings. What Wings did was obviously like, look, you know, Roxy doesn't have wounds, you know, I got this on my neck, which I personally don't care about, but like, you know, he did draw blood on me, and he did, you know, throw his wife on the table. I mean, it's pretty bad. You know, there's no question. So currently Wings is suspended without pay. We're going to make a decision when we get back and Fat Camp is done and over with. He's been banned from the Discord. He did, make a real energetic apology to me. And I know he feels sorry and he's crying and everything else. But yeah, I mean, this type of stuff is unacceptable.
100%. And I was telling earlier, like, you know, when he was in the truck up here before he left, like, you could see the raw emotion of him and just how he felt and all that, right? And that's something that it just is what it is. And, you know, people are usually, you know, feeling bad about actions that they take, but sometimes it's a little too late.
Well, we've seen it all where Kelly's constantly getting disrespected from him. All right. Mm-hmm. Twiggy rode with him all the way up here, and Twiggy witnessed them fighting and him being disrespectful in, I guess, private, right? If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, a real rude awakening needs to happen with him and how he's treating Kelly. Yeah. Right. Like it's just, this shit is just unacceptable. Me and Boogie are pretty pissed.
Yeah.
You know, we're stuck with, do we want to work with Wings right now? Mm-hmm. But also we don't want to make it an emotional decision. That's why we're trying to wait, you know? Yeah. Cause as of right now, I mean, me and Boogie don't want to work with Wings right now. We don't, you know? You know, when it initially happened, I think Boogie was thinking, well, the right thing to do here is to let everyone know Kelly tripped, because part of it is Kelly tripped, but he clearly pushed her, you know, it is what it is. If the table wasn't there, you know, maybe she would have stumbled back and not fallen over. Sure. Yeah. Right. But he still pushed her. You know what I mean? Like he still pushed her. So it's like, bro, dude, it's,
Looks like I was telling people, there's just a lot of variables in the moment, and it was a very tight space with a 400-pound man. So, you know, just trying to think everything through, think of the right thing to do. He's kind of blacked out, not being rational, and it's a lot of it was being reactionary.
When Becky and Roxy were going at each other, it wasn't a scary moment because we're men. We can get them apart from each other. You know, we can control the situation, and you know, pretty much we can guarantee everyone's going to be safe.
Yep. When
it's 400-pound Wings, like, you know, to the point where he's pushing his wife, you know, it's a scary, you know, situation for everyone involved. Because it's like, what are you going to do? You know?
Yep.
There's the context before where, look, man, he was banned from coming to Fat Camp for making threats of violence to people. And then we unbanned him on good behavior, and then this happened. So, bro, like, there's a lot going into this.
Yep.
But I do have my coffee now.
GG's Brady.
Since I'm on cafe, so it's official. Cheers, Beans.
Cheers.
And Ken.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Last thing I'll say, because I know y'all got more to talk about, is, you know, people are talking about punishments and all that, and I'm like, I think we're past that. I think, you know, just any regular punishment or humiliation wouldn't solve the issue. I think if there were to be any type of thing, it'd have to be professional help. But knowing Wings and being stubborn, he'd have to buy into it.
I can tell you this right now. He truly, truly knows he fucked up. I can tell you right now, he is not giving me a hard time in private at all. Yeah. I can tell you right now, he knows the chances of him being let go are very high. And he knows it, and he knows that that's a reasonable outcome. But again, I don't want to make a call like that until this is past us and we can truly look at this, without emotions running high.
Facts. I'm sorry, Vince, I've been talking the entire time.
No, you're fine. I'm just here chilling.
And then the Becky situation makes things more complicated, right? Because, if I was the audience, I was like, okay, well, if Wings gets let go or he's on suspension, so should Becky. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a very complicated thing that we need to try to resolve here.
Yeah, but like you said before, you really can't listen to the chat, because you're going to have your polar opposites. You got your trolls just trying to stir the beef. So it's hard to make a decision without the emotions of everybody else coming involved. So that's why you do need that time in that space to really think about it. I totally get that. So, yeah, man, I don't want to be in your shoes right now. I'll tell you that much.
I could say that, I don't know if you told them, but like when he did leave and he left property, he was in full tears, apologizing to everyone. So it's like, he knows he messed up,
Yep.
If there was a situation where he was like, I didn't do nothing wrong, this is someone else's. If he started blaming everyone else for this, it would just be we're parting ways, you're fired. It would
make it easy.
It would make it a very easy decision for sure. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So, but I don't know, man. Hopefully, like you said yesterday, you just want to get back to the fun of it, get back to just making content, having laughs, and having everybody involved. Hopefully, we can get back to that after today. That's the ultimate goal.
Oh, the vibe here has been amazing ever since they've been gone.
That's what I'm saying. But like on camera, making content, get back to it.
Yeah.
Can we have fun punishments now? Not so much torturing people, because I think that's the vibe that people have been getting. Just the punishments have been borderline torture or borderline yikes. Can we have fun punishments? $50, and I'll put some beans on my head.
You're not using the beans I'm cooking tonight.
No, what do you got for us, Grim?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question to you, Keem. Is Becky even sorry for what she did?
No. Becky's not sorry for anything she does. Yeah. Anything.
She got real big,
make your decision a little bit easier.
Lonely child behavior.
That's the other thing. People say only child syndrome. I'm an only child, and I don't act like that. It's just
same.
I don't understand it, and I have said this entire time after that 5-hour stream, she lacks a lot of integrity, and she does not have a backbone because she just grifts wherever it is. And I know that you said if she did a live stream, she'd have 2,000 or 3,000 people. She tried it. She realized it was nowhere near that, because a lot of people try to build off leaving the negativity in the LCU, that notoriety that they had, to build some sort of independent audience. She tried for 5 hours, talked to the people that are banned, and even said that, a little bullshit tarot reading, and it looks like we're going to work together a lot sooner than we thought. It's
just all this stuff is very complicated. Yes, Becky has messed up here. Yeah. She put hands on Roxy. Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah.
But she just got done doing a major sacrifice for content and her job, and that's shaving her head. So it's these are very, very complicated things to navigate. I don't know. I don't know.
Like I said, I do not want to be in your shoes right now, man. I do not envy you right now, and heavy is the head, as they say.
Free Woo 92 with the $5. Keem, you're one of the best entertainers of our time, but if you don't bring Becky here, none of this happens. Nightly Truth with the $5. Fat Camp is a major W, Keem.
Yep.
Lol Cow Chicken 63 said beans punishment is to pour beans on your toes. If Ken was near a computer right now, he would ban you outright.
We ban feet. I don't know if you understand that.
That's nasty.
We're not doing that. It's fucking gross. I can't.
Shady with the $5. Keem had removed the cancer from the LCU. Then he willingly brought it back. If Becky wasn't at Fat Camp, none of this shit happens.
So the only comment I'm going to say on that is, she came back, caused a bunch of shit, started a bunch of shit up. But also, Wings made a conscious decision to say what he said. And the spin and narrative he tried to put on it was not in any kind of positive way. So that put Keem in a predicament to have to react to it because of the narrative trolls like to put out. So that just put everybody in a bad spot.
That whole thing started with him just like, outing a little bit of our bit, right? For no reason. It didn't change anything. The story of Becky begging to come back and all that is true. Mm-hmm. The only thing that was different is we knew she was coming, right? And she was here a little bit before. And, I wanted to think of a creative, interesting way for her to pop on the stream that would be entertaining for the fans. And for no reason. Like, I don't understand the motivation. There was no, me and Wings weren't having a beef before then. He just did that because he's retarded. Like, there's no other reason. Like, he's just stupid. And, obviously that makes everyone say fake, scripted, and all this other shit. And it really hurts the company, for no reason. There's no reason for that. Yeah. And the more we talk about it, the more we explain it. It's just El Keem, El this, and when he realized he messed up, he was like, fuck this, I'm not taking an L. You're a liar. Just admit you're a liar. It's not my fault you're a liar. And then it turned into that. And then the next thing you know, he can't deal with the fact that he fucked up, so he wants to get physical. Like this is some like fucking kid shit that he was doing. I don't know.
Yeah. Seth looks for the $4.99 at my job. Even if I did something amazing the day before, if I put my hands on a coworker for any reasons, I'm fired flat out, no question. So you guys have to understand that this is not like a regular job, a regular company in general. This is entertainment. And entertainment doesn't follow the same rules as corporate or anything of the sort. Like, there are some standards that are obviously different.
Beans, there's so much stuff different between the Becky situation and the Wings situation. One, Roxy and Becky are two females, all right? Wings threw his wife on a table. Like, it's just these are not the same. These are literally not the same. It's not the same scenario. It doesn't matter how hard, the audience tries to reach and say they're the same. They are not. Yep. This is just wildly different. And we have the fight footage between Becky and, Roxy. And obviously, like, right away, we were able to stop any punches, like serious punches or any damage to happen. We restrained them and got them apart from each other. And I'm not saying they're innocent at all, but I'm saying, like, there was no stopping that. Yeah. He knows his power. He knows his strength. And unfortunately, he used it on his own wife. Like, dude, it's like these things are just not the same.
But the other thing is that Roxy couldn't really defend herself because whales are endangered.
That's funny. So real quick, Neglected Tipples, sending good vibes to you, Keem. It got very wholesome and fun to watch after they left, besides Boogie crashing out.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, though, is, Boogie kind of made it about himself with the whole Wings thing, because he trying to egg him on. He took his glasses off saying, you can hit me and all that. Like, I don't know what he was thinking doing that, but like every other situation, he tries to make it about himself. So I thought that was kind of funny. Looking back at it.
I'm constantly getting the audience, other host, even my own girlfriend, fiance, trying to influence my decisions and what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to be honest. No one really influences me. I truly think about things the best way I can and come to the best conclusion on what I'm going to do the best way I can. And I know right now, if I make some decisions, I may regret them. I need time to process.
Yep.
I need time to make a very, educated, smart decision and not an emotional one. Because emotions are running high. I mean, I think everyone is very, very pissed off at Wings. And not because he pushed me, because of Kelly.
Yep. But, yep.
So we only have 2 minutes left. Is there any closing statements from any of you guys?
Boss, you want to go first?
Fat Camp, is going to be fun camp from here on out. Plus, we have the Glammy wedding. We're only halfway done with Fat Camp. We got a whole another week ahead, so get ready for the good times. Thank you, guys.
That's it. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
Last thing I'll say is, hopefully, we all can rebound, we all can move forward, and let's await the boss man's decision. But until then, let's just enjoy the product we have, and getting back to the fun times. That's all I truly want.
Free woo with the 92 $5. Fat Camp was such a vibe before Becky got here. I was proud of Keem making these guys lose weight. Becky raised tension at Fat Camp till it snapped. Sucks. So I didn't see any $50 dono. You don't get any beans on my head, but we will get me cheering Roxy on later on when it comes to her and her therapy.
Yep. So last thing I'll say is, look out on announcements for the stream starting. We'll be promoting it in the Discord, so hopefully everyone gets to see it. And you got Milkers coming up next. Miss Savage made it here. It's her official first stream since she's been here. And you got Roxy, so hopefully it all goes well. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the viewership. We greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me and Beans. And, every day we're proving why more and more Cafe needs to stay. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see y'all in a few hours. Take care, everybody.